Ashwagandha is a game changer. It's considered next level. It's the ultimate adaptogen on steroids. Ashwagandha helps you adapt to stress. Now, when we talk about stress, we're talking about the adrenal glands in relationship to the hormone called cortisol. What's unique about ashwagandha, it's a cortisol modulator. Now, what the heck does a modulator mean? It means that if you're producing too much cortisol or not enough cortisol, it can bring you to a normal level. So many people, when they go through chronic stress, the receptors for cortisol become downgraded or blunted to the point where they're pumping out all this cortisol, but it's not creating the effect that they want. Ashwagandha allows that connection to work better, and it helps to regulate the amount of cortisol so there's not too much or too little. I'm going to get into why ashwagandha is the best adaptogen compared to all others, as well as some practical things to help you know how to take it, when to take it, what to take it with, etc. Ashwagandha has been around for a very long time, used by many different cultures. And the question is, what's in ashwagandha that's doing all this magic? This compound is very similar in structure to a steroid hormone. When the plant goes through stress, this compound is triggered and it grows in a certain amount. So it basically helps the plant survive. We can extract that compound that's in that plant and use it for our own benefit. Generally speaking, it helps to prevent the high spikes of cortisol. It definitely helps sleep. It helps you have endurance with exercise. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It can help you build up testosterone. It protects our brain against stress. It helps other hormones, including the thyroid hormone, and it even has anti-cancer properties. Now, I want to go through and compare ashwagandha's effect to other adaptogens so you know the differences and how ashwagandha can compete with other similar plants. Let's start with comparing it to ginseng. Siberian ginseng is actually a great thing for mood and physical endurance, but it doesn't compare to ashwagandha's balancing of other hormones. If we take another ginseng, Panax ginseng, that's also good for endurance with exercise, and it also has cognitive benefits as well. Ashwagandha is way better at dealing with stress-related anxiety, especially if the person has chronic stress or chronic stimulation of cortisol. Ashwagandha has the benefits for libido, endurance, and cognitive effects, but it has much better effects on chronic cortisol and stress issues. Now let's talk about rhodiola. Rhodiola is good for stamina, giving you energy, but rhodiola doesn't necessarily reduce stress or anxiety. Again, when you think about ashwagandha, think about something to counter long-term chronic stress. What about holy basil? That one's really good to help calm your body, helps you sleep. If we compare holy basil to ashwagandha, ashwagandha has many more effects, especially in balancing out these other hormones, and also ashwagandha's effect post-exercise and muscle repair. Holy basil doesn't have those effects, but ashwagandha does. What about matcha root? This root is good for energy. It's good for sexual function, like libido. And if we compare it to ashwagandha, ashwagandha also has those similar effects and gives you more stress-reducing effects, as well as hormone balancing effects and helping you sleep. If we take reishi mushrooms, for example, which is a very great adaptogen, and it's good for cognitive function, immune function, as well as giving you a calming effect. Reishi mushroom does not have the effect on cortisol. If we kind of summarize ashwagandha, what it does, it has a comprehensive cortisol regulation effect, very specifically helping people with chronic cortisol stimulation, with a very specific function on the word chronic, long-term stress, as well as things that come along with that, like anxiety. So if you've had a period in your life where you've been through a lot of anxiety, ashwagandha is going to be the thing you're going to want to take, with a lot of additional benefits. It can help enhance testosterone, like I mentioned before, and it can also help your thyroid in a big way. If you have hypothyroidism, ashwagandha can help that condition. And even if you have a low thyroid condition that's not autoimmune related. And I also want to emphasize, when you lower cortisol, you're at the same time going to be helping the person get into a deep delta wave sleep. So an overall restful sleep is going to be another benefit. I've personally taken these other adaptogens, which are really good for certain things, especially like stimulating your body, giving your body more energy. So many people are burnt out to the fact that you don't want to stimulate their adrenals. You don't want to keep giving them things to stimulate the body, especially 5-hour energy drinks. But ashwagandha, based on what I have observed with so many people, they're in the category of a lot of long-term stress, a lack of sleep, and a lot of high levels of cortisol. This adaptogen ashwagandha will bring that cortisol down or elevate it depending on what's going on in your body and allow the body to finally recover through a deep sleep, through hormone rejuvenation to help increase the hormones that are suppressed with stress, especially testosterone, and start to give the person more endurance, especially when they exercise. This is another reason why a lot of athletes take ashwagandha, because it just gives them more endurance. It allows them to recover better after exercise. When you take it, you might not feel a lot of like hyper energy. You're just going to have this sense of well-being, calm feeling, as well as have the energy to exercise and go longer. Ashwagandha is one of my favorite recommendations for more of a wider range effect on anything related to chronic cortisol stimulation. Of course, that also relates to anxiety, excessive worry, or sleep problems. Now, let's talk about some practical ways of taking ashwagandha. I recommend taking it in the evening since it's going to help you sleep. Actually, it might be good to take it at your last meal, like supper, because a lot of the phytonutrients in ashwagandha are fat soluble, which means that they absorb better with food. And sometimes when people take it on an empty stomach, they might feel like nauseous or have some type of stomach issue. Then cut down the dosage and then take a little bit at a time and gradually increase it. And the other question is, should you take it long-term or on a cycle? I would take it for a period of 6 weeks, and then I would get off of it for 2 weeks, and then get on it for 6 weeks and do that type of cycle. It'll give your body a chance to adjust to it, as well as to just not be on it, to give your body a chance to work on its own. And of course, if you're pregnant or you're lactating, you might not want to take it at that period of time. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.